Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show, Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I like to spend time with people who do what they love and love what they do. Join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life. Hey, we're in Wake Forest, North Carolina at the 2016 Meat in the Street. I'm telling you, there's food, there's vendors here selling all kinds of stuff. A lot of homemade stuff that you don't find in stores and all that kind of thing. So this is a great place to bring the family. You missed it in 2016, but remember this for 2017. Let's take a look, see what's going on. You know how I love people who can create things, I'm telling you, they look at something and I see nothing and they see something. And so I'm with Glenn Gustafson, and that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was all right.
Actually from Minnesota. And you know,
Chicago.
I'm from Chicago and I'm from Wisconsin. So. What part of Chicago?
South Side,
Wow.
Pegwish.
Don't make stuff up just because you're on TV.
No, from Lansing, Illinois originally.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about what you do.
Basically, I do illustration, commercial art
Okay.
for national clients. I've got a rep in Connecticut. And the painting part of it is just something I've done a long time ago and I'm starting to redo it
Okay.
with acrylics. But mostly the stuff I do is on a computer, a Mac. A lot of these are samples I've done to get work. Basically, this one was for the Wall Street Journal. So it's a little of everything, whatever I feel like doing, basically.
So in the computer are all these images and you just put them all together or what?
No,
Talk to me.
I build them from scratch. I draw a pencil,
Oh
I
my
sketch something
God.
out. I look for reference. I've been to these places.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a bunch of reference shots of stuff. So then I put them together, I draw a pencil out, sketch out what I want to do, put them in a software program, trace them, and then color them, and then print them out.
As a kid, were you always artistic? Were you doing stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh sure, drawing dinosaurs, cars.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is amazing stuff.
Thank you.
And so you got a website, and people can go online and get it.
Yeah, I'm on Etsy for Beechwood NC, Beechwood Studio NC, and I've got a lot of these posters, these pieces on there.
Now, you got this size. Can they get larger?
Yeah, it's 16 by 20.
Wow.
This is 11 by 14 or 16 by 20s.
Amazing.
Framed,
Amazing,
unframed.
amazing,
They could be just printed out just like that, or it can be framed.
I'm telling you, look at all this stuff. It's just fabulous. I love that. Really cool stuff.
Thank you.
Let's keep going. Let's see what else is going on.
Coffee and nitro.
You try it?
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
A
it.
little sample.
So this, you know how it's made?
No.
Okay, so it's our coffee brewed in cold water for 24 hours. We put it in a keg, infuse it with nitrogen, and then you basically get a really creamy coffee, a head of like a Guinness. It's really crisp, really great fresh cup of coffee. So
Will I be able to drive after this?
yes, sir. You will. Very well. For
Okay,
long
just
hours.
checking.
Long periods of time. It's a nice little kick.
Wild.
There you go.
Could you mix cream and
Yeah.
sugar with
yeah,
it?
absolutely could. I'll actually put cream in it sometimes. There's some over there if you want it.
Okay.
There you go.
Gotta try it with cream and sugar. So why do you use the nitrogen? Just for a preservative?
Well, it actually goes so quick at our shop, we don't really use it for preservative, but it creates that kind of frothiness Comes out like a Guinness stout, cascades. So it's a natural, kind of a natural creaminess. So
It's weird, but it's good.
yeah, it's really good. We call it a cold kick in the glass.
So they're right here in Wake Forest, right? Behind us in the alley, right?
Yep, right behind us on Brook Street.
So we're going to come back and visit you.
Come on back and visit us.
Okay?
We'll tell you all about our coffee and our cause. Thanks.
Love it. I'm up with Chris Malone. Chris has been with me 2 years ago on the show.
2 years ago.
Time flies, doesn't
That's
it?
right, that's right. Well, I've been on the show a couple of times since, not farther back as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Since the years that I've been here on up in the State House.
Since 2 years, what's been going on?
Well, you know what's been going on down in the General Assembly? We've been doing a lot of good work for the people of North Carolina. So we have really, quite frankly, created something like 270,000 jobs. We've turned around. We've got the fastest economy in the United States right now. We're doing a lot of good things. We have basically, if you think about it, we have probably $12 billion in benefit to the taxpayer in the way of money that we don't have in debt right now.
Right.
And we had 2.5, almost $3 billion in a deficit that we paid off, and only got $1 billion in the trust fund. We had about 2.8 on the unemployment business, and now it's about $1 billion, 1.1 billion that we have in surplus there, and the list goes on.
You know, it totally amazes me because if I personally, in my personal life,
Right.
were to run my personal life like the government tries to do sometimes, I'd probably be in jail.
Well, you know, a funny thing is I said once I said to somebody, I said that they complain about Donald Trump and his 4 bankruptcies, but if the federal government and the people that run the federal government were held to the same standards that he was, there'd be a whole lot of people in black and white right now. Or orange.
Orange.
Orange is the new black.
That's amazing because I really believe this is one of the best places in the country to live.
Right. Oh, absolutely. What a wonderful town, isn't it?
Oh, I love this place.
When I first came here, there were only a couple of thousand people here in Wake Forest. Now you have 38,000 people. The secret is out. They're coming, and they're coming from New York. They're coming from Illinois, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. You know, it's interesting. People understand that. I think in some cases people think that they wrought something that they didn't want to in New York and places like that, and they needed to escape.
Yeah.
Come down to a place where they had lower tax, less regulation, and a place where they could raise their kids and be happy and actually be able to start a business. And you can do that here.
And that's really important, you know, because the average person that maybe doesn't think about it, but even just regulations by themselves are enough to drain a company.
That's right.
Well, thank you for what you do. You're
I'm
awesome.
glad to be here all the time.
If it's okay with you, I'm going to keep up with you a little bit better this time.
Sure. Anytime you want to.
You're
Come
awesome.
by the office and visit, and we'll do another interview.
Can we have coffee?
We can have coffee.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, don't change your channel because we're going to be right back.
I've been in an accident and I don't have insurance. I don't know what to do.
I was in an accident, and I don't have insurance. Now what am I going to do?
Hi, this is Dr. Tim Weir, and if you've been in an accident, but you don't have health insurance, it's okay. We accept third-party liens. That means we'll wait for the insurance company to pay us. So if you've been in an accident, call us today.
Raleigh Spine and Injury Chiropractic. Just when you thought nobody cared. Call 790-1332 right now.
Hey, we're still at Meet in the Street in Wake Forest, and I'm with Michael Morrison,
Nice to see you.
artiste.
Yes, I am. And photographer as well.
So, because I love your stuff, but I always like to go back a little bit further, even when you were real young. Did you dab around even back then?
35 years so far, but mainly my father made things out of wood and sculpture and architecture, and my mother was like into flowers and stuff, so all of that kind of combined into what I've done now.
Absolutely. So you do some photography and
And acrylic
painting.
yes.
Okay. Do you mix the two ever?
I do some computerized images every once in a while, but like this one's called Marlene. It's a photograph that was taken in Italy, and then I put it on the computer and did a computer image of it. So I'm even going further out in
You're playing around with other
doing
new
everything.
stuff. Okay, so we got some great stuff. You said you were in Sir Walter magazine last month with this.
Right.
What do you call this?
This is called Moonstruck.
Well, yeah, it's right there.
And this was taken almost to Clayton. It's a winter sunset shot.
That's gorgeous.
This is a barn that was built in 1927. His name's Mr. Green. He's near Wendell, between Wendell and Clayton on Buffalo Road.
Wow.
It's still standing today, and it won first place in the USDA Art and Agriculture contest. And
Oh my gosh.
it's showing now in Washington, D.C. at the USDA gallery.
That's amazing. Now you had one more that was with that same organization.
This
is that
one
right?
won 2 years ago. Got to hand it to you. It won in the first place as well. So for 3 out of the 4 years we've had the contest, I've entered 3 years and won first place
So
each year.
this is acrylic and this is photography.
Correct.
Two separate. Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
neat.
So I like to, when I get a chance to take a picture, like this one's done at 42 and Buffalo Road at 5:30 in the morning, and I go to work at that time, and I just happen to, look out my back door, so to speak. So you got to capture the moments when you can.
Now the one that caught my attention when I first walked by here was to be or not to be.
Well, that's a very interesting subject because this was taken in California while I was on vacation. I'm sitting around the pool, and this is a bird of paradise, the bird of paradise?
Yeah.
And I was ready to take the picture, and the bee showed up. I don't know how it happened, but it did.
Wow.
So I was reading Shakespeare that day, so that's how it came about.
To be or not to be. That's amazing. I love what you do.
Well, thank you for the time.
Thank you. So we're still at Meet in the Street in Wake Forest, North Carolina. It's a beautiful place, isn't it?
It's my favorite place in the country.
Oh my God, I love it.
Other-
You've got this incredible stuff. I'm telling you, this stuff
you.
is like,
We've heard it been called crack on a stick.
well, yeah. it's maple butter, and it is amazing. Did you have it as a child growing up?
Yes, my grandmother, again, who grew up in Canada, she raised 12 kids. She had actually 14 children in 18 years.
Hey.
One way she supplemented is she sold this in a little store up in New Hampshire in the 1940s. Then she passed the recipe on to my mom, who passed it on to me. So yes, I grew up having it on ringer toast. I don't know if you're old enough to remember.
Ringer toast?
Yes, so it was an big old white stove, and you cooked the toast right on the stove top. It had like a plate that you cook it on. Anyway, and that's what I grew up having maple butter.
Do you still have
on.
one of those?
No.
Oh, I'm just checking. Okay.
No. We've modernized now.
Okay, yeah, I know.
But anyway, we grew up having that. And then after I got married, I made it for neighbors and friends, and everybody always said, oh my gosh, this is so good, why don't you sell it?
Yeah.
Never had it in my radar to sell it until one day I met marketers, and they said, I said, what are you doing? They said, we market. I said, hey, I have a product I would like to market. And that was one day, and 6 months later we had our first batch made and did our first show at the State Fairgrounds, and that was in 2008, and we've been selling it ever since.
Okay, so let's talk about, because I would put this on bacon and everything.
Absolutely. Yes.
So what are some of the top 4 things that you would use this for? 4.
Toast.
3.
Popcorn is my favorite, but
Popcorn?
oatmeal. Yes, the salt, sweet. It's like kettle corn.
Really, you just dump it on it and mix it up?
And because we're in the South, sweet potatoes is a huge one.
Oh my God.
Cinnamon rolls. Do I have to stop at 4?
No.
Apples, biscuits, oatmeal,
So you
ice
could dip
cream.
apples, like cut up apples?
That and popcorn are my 2 favorite. You can actually cut this with cream cheese and mix it up.
I bet you could cut it with some peanut butter too, and it
Yes.
would be good.
Yes. If we were to expand our line, which I don't really know at this point we are, but I would have a mix, peanut butter and maple butter.
So do you have a website?
Yes, we do.
Can people order it? And
Absolutely. They can order it on fossgourmetfoods.com. And we're also in a lot of local stores. So if you're in the Raleigh area, check out our website. Hate to have you spend money on shipping when you can go to a local store.
Exactly. But Mrs. Johnson out in Seabourn, California, I hear you.
That's right.
So you can go on the website and order this.
Absolutely.
It is fabulous.
Well, thank
Okay,
you.
so I'm sorry, we really should cut here, but I got to ask, did Meme, did she get the maple syrup out of the tree too, or did she just buy maple syrup and make
No,
it?
actually, this is a dairy product, which is very unusual for a Canadian to not use the real maple syrup. And I know, don't shoot me, but this is a butter and sugar and maple extract.
Oh, it's still good.
Yeah, it's still good.
Fabulous.
So my grandkids now are really enjoying it too, and they come over and they say, Meme, we're out of maple butter at home. So we've passed the tradition on.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So. because I'm a meme.
This is like a family thing.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for being with me. So I'm talking with Shashin this morning here at Rise Donuts and Biscuits, right?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm
That's
so
correct.
good, thank you. So tell me how you got involved in this. How did you get started?
Yeah, Rise Biscuits Donuts started in Durham, and we were customers of Rise. We really loved the product.
Yeah.
And we then started talking to Tom, and we loved the idea of having our own store where Tom gave us the flexibility of putting stuff in that was important to us. And so even though there are multiple locations of Rise, each Rise is unique because you can customize the donuts that you want to do. You can customize the biscuits. So there are going to be some standard donuts and biscuits, but overall you can have your own flavor. So when we first opened, we had some Indian flavored donuts. We had some Indian flavored biscuits also.
So prior to this, what were you doing?
Prior to this, we own other businesses. We have a few preschools in the area. We have one in Durham and one in Chapel Hill. And from our Durham preschool, that's how we were introduced to Rise. We used to get donuts for our teachers, our parents, and that's how we learned about Rise, and we've been super happy with it.
So talk to me about some of the flavors that you guys have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yes, our flavors change every month. So we do different types of donuts every month. Same thing with the biscuits. Our biscuits change each month also. So if you look here, we do 15 different types of donuts. And again, they change on a monthly basis. Some of them are going to be the same, like your favorite, the maple bacon bar, will always be here. But you know, some of them will change.
He's making that up. That's not.
So our chocolate cake is special for this month. We have a vanilla peanut, which is special for this month. Our chocolate pudding filled is special for this month. So again, they keep changing. So we have old school donuts, new school, and our school. And our school donuts are the ones that change on a monthly basis.
Wow.
Yep, absolutely. And same thing with our biscuits. We have our regular biscuits, and you can customize the way you want it. And then we have our special biscuits, and again, they change on a monthly basis. So we will always have something that for meat lovers, and then we'll always have something for
vegetarians.
People who are vegetarians.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So yesterday I came and got 6 or 7 donuts.
Right.
And I thought everybody's going to love the maple bacon like I do, but everybody loves this salty Captain.
Yeah, it's different each day, you know, it just depends. But I mean, maple bacon bar is one of our popular donuts, but this one, yes, the Oreo schools are out, so we do have a lot of children visiting. So Oreo donuts are popular, our salted Captain are popular, sprinkles are quite popular. So it just depends on the day and what people are in the mood for, but we have them covered.
So when you're not here,
yes,
what's your favorite thing to be doing to enjoy life?
I love spending time with my kids. I have 2 boys, 10 and 7. They're super active, so I really enjoy my time with them. Yeah.
I always think it's funny because people say, well, I'd really like to own my own business.
Right.
And most people have no idea what it means to own their own business.
Sure.
So I love it when somebody succeeds. You guys have been here how long?
We opened in November of this year, and so about 6 months now. And we're going to open up more stores in Austin, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me be here. You're awesome.
Appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much.
Great place to come. I mean, don't come here every day and eat and get, out of control, but make this a special place that you can come. I think you're going to love it. Try the maple bacon
bar.
Wow. Okay. Don't change the channel.
Just because you're in an accident but didn't ride in one of these doesn't mean that you didn't get injured.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and after 35 years in practice, I can tell you, a lot of times, an injury doesn't show up for 2 to 3 days after an accident. So if you've been in an accident, don't delay any further. Call my office today.
Raleigh Spine and Injury Chiropractic. Just when you thought nobody cared. Call 790-1332 right now.
Do you ever look at your life as far as your health is concerned and wonder, what in the world am I doing? I'm kind of confused. Does this work? Does that work? And so my guest with me today is Maria Whalen from Invincible Wellness Systems. Did I do that right?
Close.
So talk to me about this. Why did you do this?
Wow. Well, in a nutshell, it was a really long journey of healing myself, and I had 3 rare autoimmune diseases, and I kind of went through the gamut of, the Western medicine process, and it's a very long story, but I basically got to a place where I was really kind of at the end of my rope with it all, didn't really want to live, and through a process, my doctor had brought me in and kind of said, I have got some bad news for you, and I said, look, you couldn't possibly give me any worse news, from what I've lived with now. And he said, no, I think this one's going to get you more. And I was like, what could it possibly be? And he put his hand on my arm, and he said, unfortunately, we've kind of found out that you probably will never be able to have children. And that was like kind of the only reason I felt like I was still living. So I actually left there. I was in such a daze, and I really wanted to take my own life. So I actually checked into a hotel, planned to do that, and went through the motions, and I was pretty serious about it. And that night, I got on my knees, wanted to say goodbye to the world, and I started having these visions of seeing my parents find out the news that I was gone. And then I saw my parents tell my sister, who's my best friend, and then I saw my sister telling my nieces, and it just took me out, and I just started weeping. And it's interesting because one of my autoimmune diseases used to send me a coma all the time. I was in a coma like every other week, and so I was pretty used to it. But anyway, that stress and anxiety actually sent me into a coma. So I woke up the next morning, and my joke is always like, I really hope heaven doesn't look like a hotel room. Like, where am I,
At least they left the light on.
I know, it was nice of them. Yeah, I thought it was a different light. But so, from that moment on, I've always been a fighter. I used to be a boxer, and I just got flooded with this whole empowerment thing of like, what, this is not how my body's supposed to be. There has to be an answer. I'm not quitting, and I'm gonna figure this out. So that was the first pivotal point of why I did what I did, but honestly, why I do what I did and why I created the Invincible Wellness system, whole different reason. And it was because when I started to try to figure it out naturally, I noticed what was happening in the alternative system, and I'm like, it took me years to put it together, hundreds, thousands of dollars, almost $100,000 probably. But that's the nature of it, right? Sure. You got to try every modality, and we're looking this, and so through it, I really saw, oh my gosh, here is all the things that are missing. And if people don't learn how to do this, they're going to end up back on the other system. And so I was like, something has to shift. And not only that, but my passion, ultimate passion, is that I loved that I was so empowered that I could do it myself, that I didn't need anybody else ever again. And that's the place I want people to be. So I really teach people, after I train you on my system, I don't want you to even need me. And that's a very different place to come from, right? So I've just kind of taken the industry and created, we have 2 systems that exist, and I've created a 3rd system. And it allows people to just be their own healer, their own doctor, whatever you want to call it, but completely independent when you're done. So I really speak about health freedom.
Even before that, people have to come up with the understanding that their health is not their doctor's responsibility or their husband's responsibility. It's their responsibility.
Absolutely, 100%. That is, it's like any freedom. If you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to get it. So when you want that kind of empowerment, the problem is that our culture and industries have trained us to think that that's not possible with our body. It's possible with everything else. People talk about financial freedom and all these other freedoms, but when it comes to our health, we're like, well, there's no way. I'd have to go to school for 10 years, or, I'd have to go to this expert and that healer. And it's like, that's not true. We've made it so complicated. When I teach people health freedom, it's 3 things. It's that you know how to heal anything on your own. That you know how to say with assurance, not hope, not positive thinking, that I know I'm never going to get anything, and how to do it yourself. Now that's the kind of level of freedom I live out of, what I want for other people, so that's what it was designed to be.
That's huge.
Yeah, and I didn't want any barriers. If you can sit in your computer anywhere in the world and do it, how empowered are you, right? So we're global, we're in tons of countries, and I just love it because it's just it's within anybody's reach, so.
Okay, so help me out here now. Is it like I got to study this?
Yeah, good question.
What do I have to do?
Yeah, I know. It's so funny, right? Because this is what we've been taught, how complicated it is, right? So I say it like this. So your body is like an engine, right? So if you're the mechanic, you know not only the parts, but you know how the parts work, right? So it's pretty simple when you know the mechanics of it, right? The problem in the industry and what's happened is we've taken all these body parts and we've separated them. right? And we've talked about it through title or ailment, and that's not the way to go.
Right.
Your body, the ailment is the expression that your body's doing of what's imbalanced for the organs and the systems. So it's very simple when you work at it, but I tell people you have to work with your body, one on the whole, and you got to do it in the right order, in the right timing, with the right tools. And those three things are greatly missed in the fragmented industry that we have to deal with. So,
well, the nice thing about the fragmented industry is that they can keep control of you. Because your doctor certainly doesn't want you coming to him asking a whole bunch of questions.
right. And I will say on the flip side, it's the same in the alternative industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Western industry for me is a no-brainer. It's kind of like, you know, nobody talks about that. That's not about healing.
Right.
It just isn't. And but the alternative industry is where the, you know, the change can happen, but we need to cohesively put it back together again. So when I go to use modalities, I'm not using it because I'm sick. I'm using it to take me to the next level. Very different consciousness, very different way. But that empowerment's huge, right? So my program is designed in a place where it's 12 weeks long. People can access it on their computer. They can follow it step by step. And then I have coaches who are highly trained with me that work very closely, and they walk them through it. So you have the troubleshooting, you have the implementation, you know, and that's where most people get lost, right? Because you come up with a little bump and you're like, I need help. So you still have it, but you're learning as you're going, and it's simple. So if it's simple and fast and you can do it, I teach people how to be their own dentist, how to set up your own pharmacy. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you go, how you travel, what you do. You know, I travel with my 11-year-old who they said I could never have, you know, the kid that I was told I could never have. And I travel with her all around the world. I don't worry about anything, you know. She doesn't know what sickness means. I haven't been sick in 10 years. I mean, I don't do sickness.
Yeah.
And I can't, you know. I mean, I literally can't. I have an acute care line that's built into the system, so I handle calls 24/7. I'm like, if I'm down for 5 minutes, it ain't happening, right? So
That's huge.
I have to walk my walk, and
Wow.
that's a big deal.
So people contact you, they sign up for the program.
Yeah, we have a pretty rigorous application process because we want to make sure people want that level of health freedom, and that you can, like you said, if you're like, I just want the quick fix, or you know, just do it for me. I'm not your person. There's a lot of people who will take your money for that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I have an online workshop where I explain the 5 places your body, the system works, and so people can learn a little bit more about it. And then at the end, there's an application process, and that's what we do. We make sure it's a good fit for both of us, and you come on in and it just goes, you know, it's plug and play. So
how cool is that?
Yeah, it's nice.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
Well, listen, you know what? Life is all about choices. The choices I make today determine my future tomorrow. If you want to change your future tomorrow, make some new choices today. Here's where it starts. Thank you for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
You're awesome.
Thanks. You too.
Hey, what are you doing back here?
I'm the American vehicle car.
We were supposed to be in an interview.
And I'm French. I was actually from Canada, from Quebec, Canada, but she moved to
You're
New
French?
Hampshire. Family.
I didn't realize that. So join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we discover how to shake and rattle and roll. You know, I don't even have a TV show. I just come and give food.